Hello, I'm Anthony and welcome back to my channel on being diagnosed with ADHD as an adult. I've decided to record my story from diagnosis onward, and there are three main reasons for this. Number one is I'm in the UK. A lot of people I've noticed come from the US. We have a national health service, so this means that things are going to be cheaper for me, but are probably going to take a little bit longer. Number two is that I have the primarily inattentive or distracted type rather than the hyperactive or mixed types that you might be more used to seeing. And number three is I'm a grown adult. I'm 41. A lot of people get diagnosed as children. I didn't get diagnosed until I was 41. In this video, it's been a month since my diagnosis, so I've had a little bit of time to reflect on some things and to form some opinions. So it's been 1 month today. I wasn't meaning to make it precisely 1 month, but it just happened that way. In the past month, nothing much has really happened except for one important thing. They've sent me a blood pressure cuff. Now, this is because at my age, being in my 40s, of course, it's going to be a slightly more risky thing to give me high doses of a stimulant medication. So they just wanted to check, what is my baseline? Do I have a reasonable pulse rate? Do I have a reasonable blood pressure? If either of those are high, it would have been a bad sign if they wanted to give me stimulant medication. As it is, they seem to be fine. So they seem to be moving forward with the idea that they're just going to give me some stimulant medication. In this particular case, I do seem to have a low enough pulse rate and a low enough blood pressure that it shouldn't be a risk to give me stimulants. I am feeling positive about that because over the years there have been some challenges, and with luck, this medication should help just take the edge off them. I don't expect that I'm going to be suddenly better and like everybody else around me, but I do hope it'll take the edge off everything, and hopefully I'll start to focus better, I'll start to pay attention better, I'll actually be able to keep my attention on something for longer, especially when those things don't interest me as much as other stuff might. Now, since my last video, I have actually had someone disagree with me. Just the one so far. But she did bring up some interesting points. The first one was, she said, I have a little sister, though her sister's in her 30s now. But she said, I have a little sister who has ADHD. You're nothing like her. You can't possibly have ADHD. Now, this is an interesting point because ADHD does manifest differently, especially between men and women, boys and girls, and between younger and older people. And there are multiple types of ADHD as well. In my case, what I've been diagnosed with is the distracted type. So what you might be used to is the hyperactive type, the people who are really, really wired and really want to be running around in circles. And that's actually like some of the students I've taught. Now, in my case, the distracted type means that I'm not bouncing off the walls, but what I do struggle with is paying attention. This manifests in multiple ways. So if I'm in a meeting that I find a little bit boring, sometimes my mind will wander. Or sometimes, if there's something interesting happens, I might get distracted by that. I might want to play a new game. I might want to go and investigate a new idea. Wikipedia, the YouTube Watch Next algorithm, these things are actually really dangerous for people with ADHD because we see something new, we see something exciting, and we kind of fall down a rabbit hole. So this has happened to me before. I've thought that I was going to go to bed at 11:30 maybe, and at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm still watching videos on horseshoe crabs and obscure points of physics. The second point my friend made is that when I mentioned stimulant medication, she said to me, no, you shouldn't take stimulant medication. Think about what stimulants do to people. Now, what she didn't seem to understand is that stimulant medication actually has a different effect on the brains of people with ADHD. So if you were given strong stimulants, think about if you've had too much coffee to drink, you might become hyperactive. So, of course, logically, you'd say, why would you give stimulants to someone who's already hyperactive? Well, I'm sure I'll be able to find better videos and hopefully I'll put them into the description below. But a very simple version is this. An ADHD brain doesn't have enough dopamine. Dopamine is one of the drugs that stimulant medication causes our brains to create more of. Since we don't have dopamine, we look for more dopamine. So those distracted behaviors, those looking for exciting things, Facebook games, or just being distracted by interesting videos, especially cat videos, they give us dopamine. Our brains need the dopamine so badly that they're actually distracting us. Anytime we can get dopamine, we'll go chase that. That's how we end up falling down a rabbit hole on YouTube. So for a normal person, the stimulant medication promotes even more dopamine. It creates a sense of hyperactivity. In someone with ADHD, what it does is it balances it out. What it does is allows the brain to keep hold of more dopamine in the brain, and so we don't actually seek out more the same way we would otherwise. This is just a short update. Unfortunately, I don't have much more to say at the moment, but I wanted to make sure that I kept track of what was going on. And since it's been a month, this is a good time to check back in. I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks, or maybe in a month's time, I'll check back in and tell everyone how I'm doing and if there's been any progress. If there has been progress, I can talk about what the next steps are. If there hasn't been any progress, maybe I can just talk about what I'm feeling and how the whole process is affecting me. Thank you for watching. If you found this entertaining or you found this educational, I'd really love it if you'd hit like and subscribe. Maybe you could even leave a comment too. That'll tell the YouTube algorithm that what I'm doing here is useful and show it to more people. So I hope to see you next week. I don't really know what I'm going to be talking about next week, but this will be exciting for all of us, I'm sure. Thanks. Bye.